Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Memo and I mainly draw things for a living. The Artist Starter Plan is a calendar I created to help you start learning how to draw if you're a complete beginner or get back into drawing if you haven't done it for a while. The plan goes from drawing simple lines and shapes in the first week, moving on to portrait, gesture, clothing, and full characters by the end of the 31 days. I recorded this as a series of live streams on Instagram, so unfortunately the format is portrait and there's some level of chit-chat throughout the videos. I hope you can still enjoy it, download the calendar for free, and start your own practice. It doesn't need to be the first day of the month to start, just pick day one and build up from there. Let's get started! I hope you're having a good Thursday. I think Thursday is probably one of the best days of the week. It's not quite Friday, so I don't have that feeling like, oh my god, I still have to do like a million things and it's already Friday. But it's close enough that it's like, oh, you know, the week is coming to an end and everything is gonna be fine in the week and I don't have to work. So yeah, Thursday is pretty much my favorite day of the week, I think. Cool. So today we are doing noses. So noses are, I think, quite hard for some people to do. For me, I pretty much very early on in my drawing careers decided that I was going to do noses a certain way, and I've always done them that way. But, you know, at first I would do noses in the same way for every kind of character, and instead, as I became more skilled, I was able to actually differentiate my noses a little bit, of course, regarding, you know, according to the character and, you know, their personality, but also their facial features. So I feel like noses sometimes are a little bit hard. So let's break down how I approach drawing noses. And again, disclaimer, and obviously I am not talking from a perspective of realistic noses or any other style but my own. So if you want to try my method, you're welcome to. I'm gonna invert the camera. Here we are. So I took the advice of someone from yesterday who said, like, why don't you put the background of your canvas on gray? So it's actually like off-white now. It's not completely white, it's a little bit grayish. Today it's day 11. Let's go. So the way that I conceptualize noses is that they are triangles. Literally, a nose to me is a triangle, where on the lower side of the triangle you have the nose holes, right? And on the top side of the triangle you have a little circle inside, and that's the point of your nose, and that's it. That's pretty much what a nose is, in my opinion. So if you are wondering like how to draw noses, sorry, someone is doing like really something noisy with their motorbike outside my window. It's really annoying. So if we draw the usual face, just like super quick basic face, the nose is going to sit. So this is where, you know, the eyes sit, which is where we did yesterday, and the nose is sitting right underneath or on the central square. So like if you think about your little triangle, and of course the way that I drew the triangle here is flat like this, but as you now have come to understand from all of my lives before this one, everything when it goes on a face has to be 3D, so has to be a little bit rounded to go on the face, which is a sphere, obviously. So here we go, and that's where you place your little triangle, and here in the middle is the circle that is the dot of the face, the point dot of the nose, and underneath here is the nose holes. So if you kind of simplify that a lot, this is, and the way that I in terms of like noises, like small noises, female noises, noises for children, I usually just do the nose holes and a little bit of a bump there to just kind of signify that that's where, you know, the end of the nose is, and maybe sometimes a little bit of a circle there, but sometimes, you know. And then sometimes I do this as well for the nose bridge, but I usually don't. So yeah, this is how I would draw a nose. And of course, you know, you use for poor connection, I'm really sorry. But yeah, you can just go for this very simple nose, or of course you can, you know, you can use a different way of drawing them, like a different style. For example, I've been kind of working a little bit with a different type of nose recently, which is more like a little bit more pushed, I think, which is kind of like that, like drawing the actual, like this kind of squiggly thing to make sure that the nose holes are a little bit more obvious, and like, you know, like this. Or sometimes I do just like something like a little bit more of a circle, like a big circle, and then the nose holes, I will put them like lower on the inside and higher on the outside. And this as well is a type of nose because it looks a little bit more like a piggy nose, you know, like one of those noses that go upwards a little bit, like a little French nose, I think, like this. So you see, like, you can have lots of different types of noses. I'm gonna put them all next to each other. Like, this is a type of nose, this is another, and another. And these are all ways of simplify noses, and so draw them in a way that it's obvious what this is, but it's also cartoony. I feel like maybe the hardest thing sometimes is to draw a nose from the side. So I'm just gonna quickly put this on the side. So for example, if we have, this is like a side face, so as usual we go so the way that I simplify it when I just do the face shape is that I have like a really like excessive kind of like thing kind of protruding outside from this side, and then when I go in and clean it up, it depends of course on the type of nose, but you know, sometimes I'll do like a little bump, and then here's there you go, and then you just put the nose hole here, and you can either do just the hole like this, or also have like a little other sign there. And this is a type of nose. Of course, you can also, like if you move this over here, let's do a different one. So you could have a nose that goes down instead of up. And the way that I signify that it goes down is that it goes like a little bit more like this, like it's more rounded, and maybe the nose hole as well is like the first part is lower than the other, so it looks like it's pointing down a little bit. And then we could have a bigger nose. Like this one. I mean, you know, you can just decide what kind of nose you want. I mean, you could also have like a bumpy nose. So here's like the bridge of the nose, and have like something like this. So you see the ways of the nose are infinite. There you go. I'm wondering like what else there is to say about noses. So yeah, I guess, I mean, the way that I render a nose is usually, so let's go back to this. And like, if you guys want to ask me some questions, like I've still got 5 minutes, so please do ask me all your nose related questions if you want to. So let's draw our nose here. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly go underneath and color this girl's face. So sometimes I just color it like this, where I color the overall face, and sometimes I will just use the lasso tool and then just like fill the shape that I selected with the lasso tool. Depends like how much time I have, basically. Like this is actually like a little bit longer to actually color it. But anyway, so this is the which I always use the nose brush, which is in the materials category, to do the blush. I'm sorry like that I keep being paused because I have a poor connection. Yeah, I always do like some blush on top of the nose as well, because I always find it really cute when people have runny noses or like really red noses. Do you make your own brush or get them from somewhere? I never make my own brushes because I'm lazy. Sometimes I get them from places like Gumroad. Their art, so I always think, you know, it's good to, you know, get their brushes because I like their art, so I'm probably gonna enjoy their brushes too. So the way that I do the nose is that I keep the mark on the nose in black, and then I use the soft light blending setting. So the nose is always going to be a slightly darker color than the face, okay? And then on top of it, to make sure that the nose is more obvious, also I find it really useful to use the recent category. I don't know if you use it in Procreate, but it's basically got all the last brushes that you've used, and you can also put some brushes in your favorites, like as you can see by this little star. And so I have my 4 most used brushes as my favorites, and then all of the brushes that you use more commonly, like the last ones that you used, are gonna appear underneath. And this is really useful for me because when I work on an illustration, I usually always use the same brushes. Like as you can see here, I have all these like plant brushes because I was doing an illustration with a background, and so it's useful to always know which ones were the last ones, and I can just reuse them. How many years it takes until you become professional in drawing different type of noses? I don't know. I mean, it depends how much you practice, I guess. So for me, I probably like the first 2 or 3 years that I was drawing, I always used the same kind of noses, but now I am differentiating a little bit more, also because I am, you know, I'm trying to be more mindful of different likenesses in, you know, different in people's faces according to, you know, their ethnicity, their age, their gender, etc., etc. So as you can see, I always do the shadow underneath the nose, and then I always do shadows using them, putting them on multiply blending setting. I'm sorry, tonight is really loud. Now there's like a really loud ambulance passing by. But yeah, so I always use this simple blending setting. Sorry, my partner is like passing behind me, so to close the window. But yeah, I'm using this very simple blending setting, which is multiplied, to do the shading underneath the nose. And then on top, I use kind of like a battery yellow usually on overlay to do a little bit of like light refraction on the, on the most external part of the nose, and then like turn it down a little bit, because otherwise it would be too much. And there you go. That is how I draw a nose. And of course, you can have bigger noses, smaller noses, as I was showing you, here's all your different noses. Yeah, I mean, I think if you follow this method, like the triangle plus circle method, you will do no wrong in nose material, in nose land. Okay, that was really bad. But yeah, because you can simply use it also if you have a different face, like say for example, and this is really quick, okay, so say you have a face that is like more masculine, or like an older person sort of face, like this one. Okay, this is an older person with like lots and lots of, there you go, they have bigger ears, older people, and here's all the wrinkles on top of the mouth. There you go. And so if you, even for an older person, because of course older people, like, it's kind of like with older people faces, their facial features are always growing. So the ears are growing, everything is kind of like sagging down, so everything can be a little bit more exaggerated, right? And so you have here, you have the faces, like the eyes, and you got like bags under the eyes. Okay, and then you have your nose here, right? And the nose is going to be bigger, so we are going to do the triangle like a little bit bigger, and the circle is going to be like longer, right? More extended. And so if you do that, then you can see where your nose is going to be, and like it's going to be like a little bit bigger. And there you go. Then you delete it and you have your nose for an older person. So it's pretty straightforward, really. So yeah, more years, more details, definitely. And it is a very simple method, laps, but so effective. Thank you. So I guess this is all to say about noses, I think. If you have more questions, please do write them underneath in my comment sections when I post this as a reel, as a post. And yeah, as an exercise for today, I would say use this triangle and circle method to change the shape of the triangle, like put it like up and down, so that you can draw different types of noses of different sizes and yeah, different shapes. And I will see you tomorrow. I think we're drawing another different part of the face. I'm not sure which one, but I will see you tomorrow to do that. And I hope you have a nice evening. I'm gonna run and do some exercise because I've been sitting all day. Bye guys, have a good time.